Good afternoon. I was just sitting here watching one of our local news broadcasts on KSBW 8 regarding a local incident that happened when a couple, or a male and female, were pulled over in the city of Salinas, California for a routine traffic violation. So I believe it was a busted tail light or a light on their license plate or something to that effect. However, it turns out what had happened was that the officers, or what have you, who were involved, thought that while they had the car pulled over, the female was getting her ID out and the male was getting his ID out and what have you. And the officer thought that he had been shot, so he and other officers opened fire over 16, I think it was 16 rounds shot into the car. No gun was found on these people. No weapon had been pulled. But the police shot up these people's cars. Now, can you imagine if they had been killed? But the thing that gets me, and I was watching, and I thoroughly like to watch Dan Green. Dan Green is good. You know, we've liked Dan Green ever since he started, to get into the craw of some of the city officials. But how can you, does no one think to ask the question, how can you say that you opened fire on a car at a routine traffic stop because you thought that you had been shot? I've had mosquito bites. I have had a penny or two thrown at me. I've fallen down stairs. I have never had a bee sting, but I wouldn't know if I had been shot. I can look down and see blood. I would most likely feel pain, some kind of hole in my clothes. But, of course, police officers do wear bulletproof vests. But if you take a slug, that's not something you think, oh, I think I've been shot. Oh, my God. My mother's been a nurse longer than I've been alive. And I'm not saying how long that is. But if you sit down and you hit your knee, and get your reflex, how your knee and your leg kicks up, that's an instant reflex. But if you think that you got shot, it takes time for you to process the fact that you've been shot, number one. Number two, there's pain. Number three, you would have some kind of reaction, or you'd fall back or something. Look down, see a hole, a gaping hole, blood, anything. And then it would still take you time to pull your gun out your holster. Keep in mind, a routine traffic stop, no guns. Pull your gun out your holster. So how can you say that you think that you had been shot? Oh, this police officer said, I thought that I had been shot, so that's why we opened fire. I know the economy is bad and everyone's having hard times and people are stressed, but don't they put these people through any type of psych evaluations? I mean, everybody who knows me knows I am absolutely as crazy as all get out. However, if you think that you have been shot and you don't see a hole in your clothes, blood, anything, not shot at. He said he thought that he had been shot. You are absolutely absurd. You do not deserve to be on paid administrative leave. That's no better than some of these banks who've just taken money. You are getting paid still for doing something wrong on your job. You should not be on paid administrative leave. You should be on administrative leave. And if it is determined that this officer was not truthful or things that, you should be fired. No questions asked. You should be out there on the unemployment line just like everybody else, especially if you didn't have the common sense to know that you thought you had been shot. I cannot get it. I have been sitting here waiting for Dan Green to just open fire, but it looks like Felix Cortez did ask the police commissioner, if the same officer or officers were also involved in another shooting, which I believe ended in a fatality earlier, either this month or earlier this year or last year. I'm not sure when it happened, but I know that there was another shooting. Need to get my facts straight on that, but I have never heard anybody say they thought they had been shot. Not shot at. They thought they had been shot, and that's why they opened fire. What is this world coming to? How can you think you have been shot? Now, I'm looking for some comments on this from Great Company, my girl over in Germany. Hey, boo! And quite a few others, but how can you think you have been shot? Yes, check it out. The city is Salinas, California. And I can't even think about that. If somebody throws a peanut at you, you might look around and go, oh, this to throw a peanut at me? Was that hurled at me? But if a bullet comes whizzing at you and hits you, that's something you feel. You don't say, oh, I think they had been shot at me. I can see if you were acting under duress or if it was a stressful situation. But keep in mind, as it was stated, it was a routine traffic stop. No wonder the economy is so bad, because people are too afraid to go to Salinas and some surrounding areas to go shopping, even if they are minding their own business, afraid of being pulled over and what have you, because they could be subject to being victims of certain acts. So, keep in mind, people out there, from now on, I would most likely drive around with no tinted windows in my car. Drive with both hands on the steering wheel. Hell, drive nude if you have to, so they know you aren't carrying any weapons. But just don't come to us telling us that you thought that you had been shot, Mr. Officer, and then you open up fire on this car. Not one shot, not 4 shots, not 5, not 10, but I believe 12 to 16 shots. That's a lot of bullets for one that never even hit you.